Struggling with bad breath? Well, you're not alone. Join me in this new episode of the Wonder Tooth podcast where I'm going to talk about the causes of bad breath and how we can fix it and how you can achieve a nice, confident smile. My name is Dr. Radwa Saad and I am your host today. Before we get started, make sure you put code DENT36, DENT 36 to get a complimentary consultation for any of your dental needs. And I'll tell you quickly about myself. My name is Dr. Saad. I am a practicing dentist in the state of New Jersey, and I am also licensed to practice in Canada. I actually practice there as well. I am the owner of Dent Blanche Dental, the most luxurious dental office in the U.S., and I am also a past president of Mercer Dental Society, which is associated with New Jersey Dental Association and the American Dental Association as well. I've been practicing dentistry for over 20 years and I love it. And I love to really educate people like you. And I am here to help. If you guys need any, you have any questions, just make sure you add the code and you can ask me questions in the comments below and I will definitely answer you and we can take it from there. So let's talk about bad breath. What is bad breath? Why are we struggling with bad breath? Well, there are a few factors that can actually cause that. Number one is definitely poor oral hygiene. And what is that? What does that mean? Well, this is basically we're not brushing and flossing properly. We're not doing it the way it should be done. So I had a previous episode where I was showing how you can brush properly, but I'm probably gonna make a new one just to show you how you can brush your teeth like a pro and basically how you can floss properly. But the big thing is you need to be consistent. In anything at work, you have to be consistent of what you're doing. So in the morning, you're gonna wake up, whatever, and we need to brush really well. Try to use a soft brush. Don't use a hard, don't use a medium because, it's not cleaning. It's gonna destroy your teeth. And that's also in one of my previous episodes about over brushing. You gotta be nice and gentle when you're brushing. But the big one really is you need to floss. So we're gonna brush in the morning, 2 minutes. Then in the morning, then also at night. And before you go to bed, you have to floss. How do we floss? Use the string. Use the string and go between all of your teeth. And why is that? Because if you leave any food debris or, any particles of food, the bacteria in your mouth, which is like millions, by the way, they live in your saliva. These are, normal bacteria. They're okay as long as, the immune system is not really affected. They're normal to be living there. So basically they're feeding on those particles. You're leaving them. So you're feeding your bacteria, which is, I don't think it's a good idea because what happens after that, they start to produce acid and enzymes, and it's mostly usually around the gum line and between the teeth and also behind your back molars. So you also, when you're brushing, I tell my patients all the time, if it's hard for you to get in there, get a kid's toothbrush. They have a smaller head and you can get effectively all the way in the back to get that area clean. So that's number one, the poor oral hygiene. Number two, which is actually pretty shocking, is dry mouth, xerostomia. So xerostomia, what is it? Why does it happen? Dry mouth, a lot of the medications. So a lot of the medications you are taking can have side effects of a dry mouth. And I've had this with a lot of our patients. They're like, I don't understand. My teeth were fine all of a sudden and I'm getting cavities everywhere. My gums are bleeding. I don't know what's going on, even though I have the same exact oral hygiene medications. Some of the medicine, they actually have very harsh side effects on your saliva. So the saliva is basically your first line of defense. We need to fix that. How do we do this? Well, of course, you have to take your medications, of course, but you can talk to your medical provider. Maybe they can give you something with less side effects. But let's say you cannot do this. What is the alternative? You have to drink tons of water. At this point, tons of water. Stay away from anything diuretic like coffee, tea. I know it's hard, but you're gonna have to really lower this if we need saliva. And also use something that can lubricate your tissues. I'm not affiliated with anything, but sometimes Certain chewing gums, sugar-free, can stimulate the saliva. Lemon drops can stimulate the saliva. But of course, you gotta rinse with a little bit of water after that, because you don't want the whatever is there just to kind of sit around your teeth. So make sure you rinse with water. Some of the products also on the shelf, you can use that. In the very harsh conditions, you can also ask your dentist or your medical provider to prescribe something that can increase your salivary, like basically boost your salivary glands to produce more saliva. Now, xerostomia is also, it could be, let's say you're not taking any medications, you're doing everything you can, you're drinking plenty of water, but you still have dry mouth. That can actually be some sort of an autoimmune disease, and it's called Sjogren syndrome, especially if you have dry eyes. So let's say you wake up in the morning, my eyes are dried. Well, I'm gonna put some, whatever drops, and during the day my eyes are, dry, my mouth is dry, even though I'm drinking really well, there is no diabetes going on, and then you start to feel like achy in the joints. You need to check with your medical provider, because that could be what we call Sjogren syndrome. How do you write that? Sjogren's syndrome. And you need to really read a little bit more about it, but it's an autoimmune disease, and it has been linked like primarily with dry mouth. What do we do? Like you're not gonna really cure it completely, but at least if we can at least drink more water and try to make sure that this is the proper diagnosis, then the medical provider can, start giving you certain medications or certain routines to minimize Sjogren syndrome or the dry mouth. Now, remember when I said at the beginning, the big thing is the poor oral hygiene? Well, if we don't really clean and floss, what the bacteria is going to do, well, they're having a party there. So they're going to start to kind of eat, basically, and produce more acid. And they're trying now to get deeper. So we end up with gum disease, irreversible gum disease, which is basically gum infection. And how can you tell? If you start to floss and then bleeding, or if you start to brush and bleeding. Pregnant women, that's a different story, or nursing women, that's a different story, because also in one of my episodes about pregnancy and hormones, it can cause gum disease. But let's say you're normal, you're not pregnant, and you're brushing and flossing and there is bleeding, or some people, they tell me, I wake up and there is like blood on the pillow. Well, that's a severe gum disease going on, so you have to have that checked. Unfortunately, gum infection has to be fixed by the dentist. You cannot just, let me floss and I'm gonna be good. You have to get that checked by the dentist, because that can also be sometimes a certain underlying problem, like underlying medical problem. So you have to get that checked, and sometimes even some blood work is gonna be needed to rule out anything else. But first, of course, if we're not brushing and flossing, well, the main suspect here is plaque. And plaque, if it's not removed, then it becomes tartar, which is the calculus, and then it makes it easier for the bacteria to sit there. So you have to check with your dentist, okay? Then what else? What can also cause that? Well, if you are really like, if you like to eat garlic or onions or coffee or, all of that can cause bad breath. So the funny thing is, the really funny thing, so the ancient Egyptians, they found out, okay, bad breath, what can we do to fix it? So they used to chew parsley. Yeah, they used to chew parsley, especially after garlic. And actually, if you eat garlic, if you really like it, try to eat some parsley afterwards, and you're gonna see, okay, well, it's gone. And they used to chew on mint leaves. So, cheap, not like you don't have to go buy like expensive mouthwash or expensive products. Just try that at home and let me know in the comments below if that's working or how is it. Don't forget to subscribe too, guys. I forgot. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this episode if you kind of learn something interesting, okay? And what else? What also can cause, problems? Tonsil stones. Like in the back here, sometimes if you open your mouth really big in front of the mirror and stick your tongue out and if you start to see like whitish things in the back, these are tonsil stones. How do you get rid of it? This is a tough spot, so don't try to put your finger in there because you might end up gagging. So what do? Try to rinse with warm salt water. Try to gargle with it. It sometimes helps, dislodging those little particles. If that doesn't help, don't try to do anything yourself, and maybe you should go to your medical provider like an ENT or sometimes the dentist. I had patient coming to me and I said, I don't touch it. You have to go to the ENT doctor because, it's a little bit further in the back and I want to stay friends with our patient. Let's just put it that way. So now we spoke about basically poor oral hygiene, the dry mouth, the xerostomia, and we spoke about gum disease. We spoke about, certain foods that can cause that. And also we spoke about the tonsil stones. If everything is good, what else can cause, bad breath? Underlying medical problems, which means, let's say you have acid reflux. Well, believe it or not, acid reflux is going to cause bad breath no matter what. If you brush like crazy, and actually also cavities I forgot about, that's the big one. Cavities 100% can cause bad breath. In the next episode, I'm going to talk to you exactly about cavities and how can you tell that you have a cavity, yes or no. But other non-dental causes could be also, we spoke about GERD, but it could also be sleep apnea. So sleep apnea, because you try to breathe and sometimes you sleep with your mouth open, and that can dry your tissues, and then the plaque can sit a lot easier, and then you can end up with a bad breath as well. How can we tell if a person is a mouth breather? Cavities and inflamed gum in the front only, right here, nothing in the back. Your back teeth are nice, no cavities in the back, you're flossing, no bleeding in the back, but in the front here, your tissues are like swollen and red and congested and cavities. That's usually how we can tell that there is a patient and he's a mouth breather. And they look at me and it's like, how did you know? And I'm like, well, magic. But it's really because, you just have to be attentive. You really have to pay attention to all the details. And this is part of what we do. And that's why I am sharing this knowledge with you guys, so you can tell, bad, cavities in the front, mostly here, is a lot of times it's because of mouth breathing. And why is that? This is when you have to go to check with ENT because you might have adenoids, you cannot really breathe properly through your nose, or if you have sleep apnea. Also, with the sleep apnea, grinding, that can be also because of sleep apnea, but also diabetes can big time cause bad breath. And for us as dentists, we can sometimes tell from the smell of the breath if it's some diabetes going on, the hypoglycemia, like blood sugar is high or low. We can sometimes, like the fruity smell, we call it the fruity smell. So all of that can cause bad breath. How we're gonna fix it? Well, come to the dentist. You can come and check with us. But number one, what you're gonna do at home before going to the dentist, obviously, is we're gonna brush twice a day. Each time is 2 minutes. In the morning, 2 minutes right before you go to bed, and flossing. What else we can do? Use some mouthwash. I am not really big on using, the fancy commercial mouthwash and the blue color and the purple color. I love to use natural things. So warm salt water. How can we use that? A glass of warm water. You're gonna put a teaspoon of salt, and you're gonna just rinse gently after you brush and floss at nighttime. Do it before you go to bed. Very simple. Salt, I don't care if it's iodized or from the sea or you got some water from the ocean. Warm salt water, guys. Don't make it too crazy, okay? Any salt that you have in the house, teaspoon of salt, and you're gonna mix it and you're just gonna rinse really, really well. That's after you brush and after you floss. And you're gonna floss with the string. Better than the stick, okay? A water flosser alone is not enough. You have to use a string, and then you can use the warm salt water. What does it do? It stimulates your blood circulation. It stimulates that. So if you have a little bit of an inflammation there, well, the white blood cells are called out. Come, let's go fight. Let's see what's going on here. And it minimizes the bleeding big time. Okay, so now we spoke about the causes and we spoke about how we can fix it. Of course, remember when I said there is xerostomia, you have dry mouth, it can cause that. So what we can do, drink plenty of water, tons of water, not soda, all those vitamin water, I am not really a big fan. I want you just to drink normal water. Doesn't matter if it's tap water, if you have fluoridated water, you can drink, or if it's bottled water, just water, plenty of water. That's what you need to do. And as I said before, mouthwash, you can, if you really want to be fancy, you can. But the problem is with actually a lot of use of mouthwash, it can change the bacteria, the microbiome. The type of bacteria that's in your mouth, they can be changed. And then what? Believe it or not, more bad breath. And then, let me get more. So let's try to keep it simple. Maybe if you feel like really fancy, couple times, during the week with the regular, like nice fancy mouthwash, the rest just use warm salt water, and make sure you brush and floss really well. And of course, the diet. So remember what we said about garlic or onions. I mean, if you really like them, it's good to eat them, but make sure don't eat garlic right before going to your dentist, because come on, what I mean, or right before you're gonna go into a meeting at work. Just kind of be mindful. If you really like it, just do it at home and make sure you brush and eat a lot of parsley or mint or whatever. And also the sugar. If you start to eat a lot of sugar, any sugary drinks, any sugary intakes, you're basically feeding the bacteria as well. So that can cause even more bad odors. So you have to kind of minimize that. Fruits are good, but also if you're eating fruits, make sure you rinse, or you can brush, that's even better, but rinse, always rinse. And of course, you have to go to see your dentist. Who doesn't like the dentist? In one of the previous episodes, I was speaking to my friend, she's an OBGYN, and we're like talking about it. And I said, I am scared of the OBGYN. She's terrified of the dentist, even though, she's my friend, but I think we figured it out. So make sure you go for your 6-month checkups and cleanings. This is very important. If you have gum disease, then you really have to go every 3 months, not 6 months, because you need to do some perio maintenance. And if you are pregnant, or early stage pregnancy, I would really recommend you go for every 3 months, get a cleaning, get an extra cleaning. And of course at home, your routine every day, you're gonna brush your teeth, as you're brushing your hair. Make sure this is part of your routine, okay? And that's really it today. I mean, of course you have to check with your medical provider if there is anything else, but I mean, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow us for more exciting episodes. The next one is going to be about implants. So make sure you stay tuned, and don't forget to comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys next time. Keep smiling, because there is nothing better than a smile. Keep smiling with Dr. Saad. And